You know, I know when I see something or someone that is worth my time, I go out there or I sit here and I express that to everybody. I have been uttering the words that Andrade Cien Almas needs to be in the upper echelon in the main event of SmackDown Live ever since the man debuted on this very show. Now, here we sit in what is a new era, and Andrade Cien Almas has been on television more than he has been in all of 2018. And he had a great match with Rey Mysterio tonight. Some would say it was a TV classic. I wouldn't necessarily call it an NXT classic because they're confined to TV. But I wonder how many people who called me a Andrade Cien Almas dick rider is uttering those same sentiments as I have been for the majority of 2018 today. Are you? I'm sure you are. And if you don't admit that, you're a fucking liar. You see, this is a new era, folks. This is exactly what we need to see from a new era. Rey Mysterio is fantastic at everything that he does. I will have always the utmost respect for Rey Mysterio. The man can go in there and tear the house down with literally everybody, anybody. But Andrade Cien Almas, the man goes in there and it's incapable. He is incapable of having a bad match. Now, if WWE doesn't see, now, believe it or not, there were reports about him getting a push from Vince McMahon or him getting a push from SmackDown Creative because of what he did with the likes of Daniel Bryan and what he did with the likes of AJ Styles. I mean, tonight, and what he has been doing with Rey Mysterio has blown both of those matches out of the water. So what's the excuse going to be now when Almas doesn't get the push that he deserves? And again, this all ties into what is going on right now with All Elite Wrestling, with the status of independent wrestling. Everybody out there is reaching for talent. Everybody's keeping an eye on whose contracts are up. Andrade Cien Almas made it very well known, not only once, but twice, how he is unhappy in WWE. You don't think that mixed with the landscape of the professional wrestling industry right now, with All Elite Wrestling staking claim and having snipers on rooftops watching whose WWE contract is up, you don't think, just like Finn Balor, there's a reason why Andrade Cien Almas now, Andrade is on TV? I hope this leads to a major push, because I've been a huge Cien Almas guy since he turned over a new leaf and they first paired him with Zelina Vega. The guy is fucking phenomenal. If there is a draft in WWE and I am in charge of a brand and I'm looking at a number one draft pick, Andrade Cien Almas absolutely, in my eyes, and I think after tonight, everybody's eyes, is that type of guy that you would deem a number one draft pick. The guy's fucking phenomenal. Now, with the name change, that was the other big thing that happened on SmackDown Live. Pretty much the only thing that happened on SmackDown Live. This episode was fucking miserable. I am going to shit on this show. I'm getting you guys ready right now. I'm going to shit all over this show. But the name change, I don't want to say here that I hate it completely. At first, it looks completely ridiculous. Andrade. I feel like it's only a half a name. I feel like it just sounds incomplete. Andrade. Yes, I know it's easier for the casuals to remember. Yes, I know it's easier for business purposes or marketing purposes, PR purposes. It's easier for the commentators to commentate when they're calling his matches. Andrade rolls right off the tongue, right? instead of Cien Almas or Andrade Cien Almas. But at first thought and at first glance, the name sounds incomplete. And instead of booking their talent the right way, they would rather shorten their fucking names. Now, Rusev, we got used to. We got used to Cesaro. We got used to, who else shortened their name? Harper, Rowan. They got rid of those guys' first names too. We got used to all that. I'm sure we're going to get used to Andrade. And if he continues putting on performances like he did tonight, I don't think it's really going to make a fucking difference what we call him. But the name right now doesn't sit well with me. It just feels incomplete. I feel like right now, I will get used to it, but at this very moment, I feel like if it's not broken, why the fuck are you fixing it? Really? And it makes me wonder, honestly, with stupid shit like this that they're prioritizing on these shows, instead of booking a good show on Monday and Tuesday, this is what they're prioritizing. Oh, we're going to change his name. We're going to shorten his name to simply read Andrade. What was wrong with Andrade Cien Almas? I really don't understand what the issue is with that name. Now, when I think of Andrade Cien Almas, I honestly think that as soon as he got called up from NXT, WWE needs to put their own spin on things. Really. They take him from NXT, they don't like what NXT did with him, or they don't like the way he is presented right now because it's got NXT ties, so they try and do whatever they can to make it their own, and this is what we end up with. Andrade. He sounds like he should be starring on a fucking Spanish soap opera. Andrade. I can picture this guy showing up in a Spanish soap with fucking roses taking out, I don't know, Maria to fucking some nice restaurant. And they're sitting under a moonlit sky. Nice romantic setting. Oh, Andrade, how lovely of you to present me with these roses. I'm going to take you back to my hotel room later tonight, and we're going to have a crazy evening. Sounds like a Mexican fucking Spanish soap opera name, Andrade. You fucking kidding me? Come on, man. Start prioritizing what needs to be prioritized. I urge you. Because this new era isn't really being felt right now. Now, on the other hand, the fact that they actually went out of their way to change his name, I'm hoping that it ends in a push for Mr. Cien Almas. Because if they're prioritizing his name and they're going out there and making an extra effort to fucking change his name so that it comes better on TV, or comes off better on TV, I should say, maybe he's in line for a push. Maybe he's in line for a push. I don't know. One could only hope. But after tonight, I'm telling you all right now, if Andrade Cien Almas is not a major program at WrestleMania with Rey Mysterio over a title, which I think everybody in the fucking community is wanting Andrade and Mysterio at WrestleMania to open the show for the United States Championship, you have royally fucked up. Almas and Mysterio needs to be for WWE what Ospreay and Ibushi was to New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom 13. And in many cases, Andrade and Rey Mysterio could probably tear the fucking house down more than Ospreay and Ibushi. They need to do it. They need to do it. Outside that, on this show, I couldn't give a single fuck about what happened on this show. Another thing that really boggled my mind tonight on this episode of SmackDown Live is why wasn't Andrade and Rey Mysterio the main event of this show? This is a new era. We're not feeling a new era. We're being told it's a new era, but we're not in a new era. Because if we were, Andrade Cien Almas and Rey Mysterio should have been in the main event. I would like one fucking person logically to explain to me why that match, the way it came off on TV, wasn't in the main event, or why it wasn't in the main event. Why we seen a McMahon, I guess I gave myself the fucking answer right there, why a McMahon and Miz pairing is in the main event with the fucking bar over the tag team titles, birthday cakes being fucking thrown in someone's face, birthday presents being opened up, festival of friendship type vibes here in the closing of SmackDown Live. Why? Why aren't we getting a 15-minute classic to close the show. You don't think people would have loved to see Andrade, Cien Almas, and Rey Mysterio in the main event with Almas getting the big win going off on the air? I don't understand the logic there. See, what you did on SmackDown Live tonight is you put it in the middle of the show, and then everything else that came after it was a complete waste of fucking time. You could have realistically picked up the remote control, put on whatever the fuck you wanted, and you wouldn't have missed a goddamn thing on this episode of SmackDown Live. So you fucked up. You really did fuck up. That was pretty much all that happened on SmackDown Live. That was the big thing tonight. Andrade and Mysterio tearing the house down, and Andrade having his name changed simply to read Andrade instead of Andrade Cien Almas for the foreseeable future. SmackDown Live, we're going to go over everything tonight. If you guys missed my Monday Night Raw review, please make sure you guys go and check that out, man. You guys absolutely tore the house down like Andrade and Mysterio did tonight on SmackDown Live. You guys tore the house down with the review. 2,000 likes in less than 24 hours. You guys have almost 40,000. I'm looking at 40,000 real-time views right now for Monday Night Raw. A lot of you agreed with me on my sentiments with what happened with Finn Balor on Monday Night Raw. Finn Balor is now the new #1 contender for the Universal Championship after Braun Strowman was unceremoniously removed from his Royal Rumble match against Brock Lesnar. I am hearing reports as of today that Brock Lesnar had requested to work with Finn Balor personally, and if I do some work and I follow up on that and I see that is what is being reported elsewhere through various other sources, I love that reason, because that means if Brock Lesnar has requested to work with Finn Balor, then that means he's going to show up to work at the Royal Rumble, because he did it with AJ, he did it with Bryan. Why the fuck not with Finn Balor? I think that's a great reason. And Brock Lesnar's no dummy. Brock Lesnar's a damn good businessman. He's been robbing Vince McMahon blind for how many fucking years now, of how many millions? And Brock Lesnar, he realizes that Braun Strowman, especially after last week, with a segment with him included, was a complete train wreck. Brock Lesnar doesn't want to work with somebody who is not ready for the prime time. Brock Lesnar doesn't want to work with somebody that he's beaten already and WWE just relentlessly jams down your fucking throat. He doesn't want to work with a guy that pretty much, if they have him go over Lesnar, is never going to be the guy to take the throne. Like, Lesnar knows what he's worth. Lesnar knows his value. If he's going to drop the title to anybody, he wants it to be on his terms with who he wants to drop the title to. And that guy is not Braun Strowman. I'm sorry. So, I was once a Braun Strowman mark. Clearly, Braun Strowman has fell out of favor with a lot of people. It is a mixture of WWE creative's fault. It is a mixture of his own doing. And he pretty much killed his entire momentum with what happened just last week, where he exposed himself by forgetting a line, or maybe he got confused with something. I don't know. But he looked absolutely terrible. Reports coming out of that stating that, oh, Braun Strowman's not medically cleared. We went over all that in the review, man. I went really in depth on the Monday Night Raw review. That did not look like a Braun Strowman who was not medically cleared. That looked like a Braun Strowman that was ready to go. By the time the Royal Rumble came, he would have been ready to go. Other factors came into play for Braun Strowman being removed from the Universal Championship. So we talk about that, and I made a lot of people salty. I don't know where the fuck you people come from. I don't know where they grow you. Seriously. If I am sitting here and I anger you so much, then I'm doing my job. And I do it with a smile on my face, and I just don't give a shit what you have to say. Cry all you want. People think I'm bitching. People think I'm moaning. Monday Night Raw is still in shambles. SmackDown Live is fucking hit or miss every other week. The quality of these shows is terrible. It is my job to question what is going on with these shows. It is my job to raise awareness about what is going on with the WWE, why this could be, what's going on with that, is this where they're going, what is going on with this and that and this and that. If I don't ask questions, who the fuck will? I don't understand why you want me to sit there and paint this fucking beautiful picture of a moonlit sky, starry night, fucking crickets gently chirping in the background while you're holding your girl's hand, walking down a fucking field of bedded roses. Fuck you. I'm not here to do that. If you don't like what I have to say, and most of the time what I have to say is the fucking truth, you can suck my dick. Any other questions? So if you missed that, good time on Monday night. Go check it out. Go check it out. Love making people angry. You sit here and do what I do on a weekly basis. Let me see you do it any better, clown. Anyway. Off the Script is live as well. So we did a bunch of stuff, man. We had almost 6 hours of content this weekend. So if you missed any of that, link is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of your screen, man. I love what I do, man. I love agitating people. I really do. I really do. I don't know what the fuck anybody's watching, man. What are you watching on a Monday and Tuesday night that you could honestly look me in the face and say, well, they did better? They did better tonight, JD. I don't know why you gotta be so negative, man. What are you watching? They did better. Excuse me. I don't want them to do better. They should have been better. All this time. Better. If they're doing better is the best reason you have for me as a counter argument, then I don't want anything to do with you. Because you are pretty much admitting to me that you accept mediocrity. You see, I don't accept mediocrity, man. These shows should be 2 thumbs up every week. Every single week. These shows should be ranking 7, 8 out of 10s. If getting better, if moving from a 1 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10 is good for you, if that is enough for you, then you are the root of the issue. Simple as that. I don't know what else to tell you fucking people. Follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Social media is as follows on Twitter and Instagram, JD from NY206. Follow me on Twitch, JD from New York. And if you guys want to support on Patreon, completely optional, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you guys so very much for all the support. SmackDown Live opened up tonight with an SUV pulling up, and out comes not Vince McMahon, not Shane McMahon, not Stephanie McMahon, not even good old Triple H. It was Becky Lynch. Good old Becky Lynch comes out. Fans start chanting her name from inside the arena. Kayla Braxton approaches and asks if Becky is truly ready for the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Asuka. Becky then asks if Kayla really waited all this time to ask her that question. It's like me on Monday night. I waited all this fucking time, all week, to watch Monday Night Raw, and I'm looking at the TV after 3 hours, and I'm thinking the same thing. Is that what you fucking gave me? Is that what you had all week to fucking come up with for a 3-hour fucking program? Seriously. So I feel you, Becky. I fucking feel you. So she walks off and tosses her keys to Kayla like some fucking ruthless badass. Gotta love Becky Lynch, man. So she walks up and we see the New Day and we see Otis and Tucker Knight of Heavy Machinery. Now, we see a blender on a table. They're all standing in front of this table. And there's pancakes in the blender. Then, I believe Otis puts eggs. And then he puts some unknown fucking substance. I swear to fucking Christ, it looked like dog food. I believe he said it was tuna. I'm not a fish person, so whatever the fuck was in there looked absolutely nauseating. So, I believe it was tuna, but it looked like fucking dog food. So, it was tuna, eggs, and some other ingredients. I don't know what the fuck else was in there. God knows what. Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods looked freaked the fuck out. And he takes this concoction, he blends it, does Otis. And he's doing his little fucking, his little shtick. And he takes it, and he drinks it. And at this point, I'm eating my dinner, and I didn't want to eat my dinner anymore. I put my dinner, and I shoved it to the side, and I just left it there for it to get cold. That's how disgusting this was. And that wasn't even the worst part. Then Becky Lynch comes over, and Otis is staring at Becky Lynch. He stops dead in his tracks from what he's doing, and he gives the blender of this mixed fucking whatever the fuck it is to Becky Lynch, and she takes a sip of it, and she wets her lips several different times. Swear to God, Becky Lynch looked like she wanted to fucking hurl. I would love to know what Becky Lynch's fucking mindset was as she drank this, put it down, and walked to the arena. I would love to know. I guarantee you that woman wanted to fucking puke. And maybe she did. I don't fucking know. I would have. I wouldn't have even drank this fucking shit. But she drinks it, and she says, "It's a little weak." It's usually what I think of when I drink a Budweiser. Now, anybody that drinks a Budweiser is a complete fucking degenerate. I mean, if you're going to a craft beer bar and you're going to sit there out of a slew of 400 fucking different beers, and the one thing that you go for is a Budweiser, that is all you need to know about that individual. That is someone that you should not ever be associated with in this entire life and the next life. I'm just telling you. It's a little weak. That's what she says. She hands it back, and she keeps walking, leaving everyone just in awe that Becky Lynch is such a badass. She took this concoction, and she drank it. Now, I have an issue. If you guys watch my Monday Night Raw review, you would have seen a moment of bliss. A moment of bliss happened, and Alexa Bliss unveiled the SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Women's Tag Team Championships. They look very good. I am very pleased with the design of the title. Fuck, they even look better than both the men's titles in the tag team division. But the women's titles that will be spread across SmackDown and Raw were unveiled on Moment of Bliss, and Paul Heyman was a guest. He was talking about whatever the fuck he was talking about with Lesnar and Finn Balor and Royal Rumble, whatever. And Otis is interrupting the entire segment. Boom shakaloo, he says. And he's looking at the fucking titles, and he's doing Tucky, boom shakaloo, Tucky, stakes and weights, Tucky. Right? And then he's looking at Alexa Bliss, and he's like, pretty girl, Tucky, pretty girl, Tucky. Right? So, we're getting this on Monday Night Raw. When I first viewed this, I laughed hysterically. Because I thought this was fucking just comedy gold. And I looked back and watched that segment again because I DVR Raw every week. And I hated it. I still laughed, but in the back of my mind, and the words that wanted to come out of my mouth were just completely negative. There's a little light at the end of the tunnel with this, and then there's just an overwhelming negative that I hope that we don't really make an issue of moving on in Heavy Machinery's main roster career. Because right now, I feel like every one of these main roster debuts is going to fail. Heavy Machinery has the potential to be a very, very good tag team. The fact that we've seen Otis on Monday in this comedy skit, very R-Truth-like, and on Tuesday doing this shit again in a comedy role with the New Day doesn't really bode well for what WWE thinks of Otis. I hope that that doesn't translate to being kept in the back and doing nothing but backstage skits for their main roster run, because that would be a complete waste of their potential. They have all the potential in the world to be a dominating tag team. I would like if they continue to show Otis's personality, but also give them a serious tone in the ring. You can't get off on this foot and expect people to take them seriously. But, JD, what is the light at the end of the tunnel with all of this? This is a great way to present Otis to a casual audience, because most of the people watching this show isn't really going to know who Otis Dojovic is. Who the fuck is this guy? He's round, he's fat, and he acts like a fucking lunatic. And he's silly. He's very bizarre. Nobody knows that Heavy Machinery were in NXT. They don't know who Tucker Knight is, nor should they. But this is a great way to get people comfortable with his act, And then when they see him and he does what he does in the ring, it might translate, oh, it's that Otis guy. He was the one who interfered on Moment of Bliss. He was the one who Becky Lynch stared down drinking that weird, bizarre concoction that he made on SmackDown Live. This guy's funny. I like him. People might be a little bit more open up to that. I just hope that this doesn't come to be a regular thing on SmackDown Live, because we don't need that. Some comedy is okay, but I would like Heavy Machinery to have some comedy mixed in with Otis, because he gives them a true identity, but I also want to see them have some barn burners. I want to see them have some competitive tag team matches. Enough with this New Day and Bar and the Usos and every fucking mixture of combination of matches with these three teams. You got teams here that aren't being used. And I'm hearing, as of today, Fandango is ready to come back. Now, I know that they're on Raw, but still, it proves my point. You got to start pushing these tag teams in prominent roles. You got to give us tag team wrestling. You can't have these guys be comedy characters because, you laugh and you chuckle and you get a nice little fucking ha 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 out of it in Gorilla. This is not fucking time for fun and games. With AEW on the horizon, all these people that aren't being utilized will wait for their contracts to be up and then they're going to jump ship. You don't think Tyler Breeze, deep down, wants to fucking show everybody how great he is? Give me a break. You don't think the club want to actually continue building their legacy that they had to put on fucking halt for 3 years to be wasted on WWE television? Get with the program. Comedy is good, yes, but in moderation. Heavy Machinery cannot fall into the Breezango category. Because right now, from what I see on Monday and Tuesday, it's not boding well for Heavy Machinery. So Becky comes out and she's talking about how she is going to take her title back from Asuka. She goes on and says everyone in the locker room is trying to be a badass now because of how she broke through. Becky says Asuka is finding out just how hard it is to lead the division. And Becky says people have tried to say she's just hype, but always delivers on what she says. Now, out comes Asuka. Out comes Asuka. And this was not good. This was not good whatsoever. I don't know what it is with Asuka, but she comes out and she flails her arms around like some fucking anime character. She's smiling. This is not what we need to see. I'm sorry. I hated this. Asuka's promo here was terrible. She actually did very well for herself for a nice string of weeks. And today, with Becky Lynch, it just came off as, Jesus fucking Christ, let me turn my head away because this is embarrassing to watch. Asuka does not need to be smiling. She's the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, and she's in a match at the Royal Rumble with the hottest female in the entire fucking wrestling world. Smiling? Smiling. Are you sharing laughs over a fucking candlelit dinner, or are you defending your fucking championship at the second biggest pay-per-view of the year? I can't fucking tell anymore. The fuck are you smiling over? So she says that Becky won't be in Charlotte Flair's shadow anymore after the Rumble. She will be in Asuka's. Then all of a sudden, I really did reach for the fucking remote control because the Ikonics came out, both Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. These two are absolutely channel-changing garbage. Seriously. I don't give a fuck what you think about Billie Kay or Peyton Royce. They are completely god-awful at everything that they do. And this is a shame because I seen growth in both in NXT. And when they hit the main roster, absolutely nothing appealing about Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. If you're going to ask me what I think of Nia Jax, Billie Kay is in the same fucking league as Nia Jax. The intensity that this woman shows, same thing for Peyton Royce. Both of them, actually. I'm not letting one get away from the other. Both of them. The intensity level on both of these women is absolutely fucking laughable. Laughable. I don't know if they're afraid that hair extension's going to fall out. I don't know if they're afraid that they're going to break a nail or if they're going to get a nice bruise on their beautiful skin. Honey, this is professional wrestling. If you're not here to do what Asuka and Becky Lynch does at a high level, at an intense level, get the fuck out of the ring and leave it to the professionals. Now, again, I stated this on Monday Night Raw with Nia Jax. I'm not saying that I could get in there and do it better. But Jesus fucking Christ, if there's one thing about women's wrestling that I see every single place I go, it's a lack of intensity. These two are fucking terrible. And Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, both of them, could really use a nice long getaway at the fucking PC down in Orlando, Florida. I don't understand this shit. Now, this all led to them stating that they're going to win the Royal Rumble match. They're going to win the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. They're going to go on to make WrestleMania 35 iconic. And then they're going to win the WWE Women's Tag Team titles at the Elimination Chamber. Blah, 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 blah. It went in one ear and out the other. I just don't care. I don't care. So, this leads Becky to say that she wants to challenge one of them tonight. This was a piss-poor way to open SmackDown Live. First of all, you got the Ikonics in there who mean jack shit to this entire brand. And then you put one of them, in this case it was Peyton Royce, up against Becky Lynch. And people, when I tell you that this match went longer than The Miz and Sheamus at the end of the night in the main event of tonight's show, I kid you not. It went almost double as long. It went just as long as Andrade and Rey Mysterio. This lasted through 2 commercial breaks. And I ask WWE Creative, why? How does this make Becky Lynch look good? Please, I'd love someone to explain this to me. How? Becky Lynch is fighting Asuka. Becky Lynch has owned this division. She's ran through Charlotte. She's ran through literally everybody. Every single woman. This is the woman that you have holding this entire division on her back. Yes, Charlotte's a part of that, but Becky Lynch is doing most of the work. And you put her in there with Peyton Royce to do a, had to be a 12 to 13 minute match through 2 commercial breaks. Why? What is the reason Peyton Royce is in there doing rest holds and headlocks and arm bars on Becky Lynch? Why wasn't Becky Lynch booked to absolutely slaughter this individual on her way to making Asuka look intimidated? Then after the match was over, Asuka started yelling in Japanese because Becky beat Peyton Royce with the disarmor. Asuka wanted to challenge Billie Kay, and Asuka got a match with Billie Kay for absolutely no reason, making her own matches, and she makes Billie Kay tap out in 2 minutes. Becky should have beat Peyton Royce in the same amount of time that Asuka beat Billie Kay. How does this make Billie Kay and Peyton Royce look? Number one, it makes them look even more irrelevant. Number two, how does this make Becky look in the end when she's got a big match with Asuka and she's calling out Ronda Rousey every fucking week? If you can't get past Billie Kay and Peyton Royce in easy fashion, what do you think Ronda Rousey's going to do to you? I don't know who produced this fucking garbage, but this was terrible. Terrible. Not even Ronda Rousey, Asuka. Becky Lynch lasted 12 minutes with Peyton Royce, and Asuka beat Billie Kay in 2 minutes. They absolutely did Becky Lynch dirty on SmackDown Live. And no, please do not. I know there'll be some fucking idiot in the comment section. Well, JD, they gotta make Peyton Royce and Billie Kay look strong because they're gonna be one of the 6 teams in the Elimination Chamber. I don't fucking care. I don't care. What have they done for SmackDown Live? What have they done on SmackDown Live, rather, that is going to make me believe that A, they deserve a championship run, B, they deserve to even be in the fucking match, or C, who cares? Who cares? This was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are not going to win the tag team titles, and they need to go back down to the PC. I don't know what else to say to you people. God awful. This is SmackDown Live's women's division. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. Oh, but JD, they play their characters well. They're obnoxious. Yeah, they're obnoxious in the wrong way. They're obnoxious and they can't wrestle. Double whammy. Get the fuck off my TV. Becky Lynch wins with a disarmer. Becky is being yelled at in Japanese. Asuka wants a match with Billie Kay. Like I said, Asuka beats Billie Kay. She puts Billie in the disarmer, but Billie reversed it into a crucifix. And Asuka goes on and wins with the Asuka lock. Wow, what an exhilarating open to SmackDown Live. AJ Styles comes out. After all this bullshit with the women, AJ Styles comes out and he is circling the ring. Music's playing on the PA, he circles the ring. And then he jumps the barricade and he walks up the stands and into the concessions area. So we see AJ Styles near the concessions area and he's with a bunch of fans. Everybody's too loud, I can barely hear him. But everybody dies down, and we start hearing AJ Styles speak. He's got hot dogs, he's got soda, he's got popcorn. He's pretty much inviting you to become a fat slob. He says the WWE Champion Daniel Bryan claimed fans were unhealthy and unhappy, but they look happy to him. He goes on and says fans paying their hard-earned money to be here, and he will do them the favor of kicking Bryan's ass at the Royal Rumble. Now you see a whole group of people in front of AJ Styles. He starts throwing t-shirts, right? He starts throwing t-shirts into the fans. He's going to give fans some free hot dogs and some free popcorn. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I don't have to pay the $12 prices for a fucking hot dog, and I don't have to pay the $15 prices for a fucking bag of popcorn. So he's in front of all these people, and a hooded individual runs through the crowd and attacks AJ Styles and throws him over the condiment table or the concessions table. This was revealed to be Daniel Bryan, and they brawl. They brawl all over the food. AJ tackles Daniel Bryan onto the hot dogs, and Bryan is completely covered in yellow mustard. I prefer spicy mustard all the time. I do not like, I don't mind yellow mustard, but 10 times out of 10, man, you got to give me that spicy mustard. The spicier, the better. I don't like yellow mustard at all on my hot dogs. Bryan was covered all in his jeans with yellow mustard, ketchup, the green relish, soda all over the place. So it took a bunch of officials to break this up. And I like this, man. I thought this was good. I thought Daniel Bryan attacking AJ Styles as a hooded assassin was really nicely done. So that was that. I'm looking forward to their Royal Rumble match, man. Royal Rumble's really coming along nice. We got the men's and women's Royal Rumble. We got the WWE Championship match with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. We got Finn Balor now versus Brock Lesnar. We got the two women's matches, right? We got Asuka and Becky. We got Sasha and Ronda. We got the tag team title match with the Miz and Shane McMahon versus The Bar. We got a U.S. Championship match that doesn't make any fucking sense. I'll tell you that, or I'll talk about that in a little bit. Nakamura versus Rusev for the United States Championship. So Royal Rumble is really shaping up to be, it's usually a can't-miss show for a very important reason, because it's the biggest thing on the road to WrestleMania, but they're doing their best to give us a damn good card, so you got to give them that. The Usos are backstage. They're doing a photo shoot, and Jimmy Uso is standing there, and he's delivered a gift. He's delivered a gift. Nice little red box, wrapped in a nice big red bow. And he says, maybe it's an early anniversary present. Jey Uso then takes the box, and it's a rose. Dead giveaway who this was from. It was a rose, and there was a note attached to the rose. And it's from a naughty girl who needs to be locked up in the Uso penitentiary. And it was signed by Mandy Rose. So Jey Uso says, bro, this is not from Naomi. This is from Mandy Rose. And in the box is a hotel room key. So Jey asks Jimmy, what are you going to do now? Now, if you're a single man, I mean, the answer is very simple. What are you going to do now? I mean, it's not fucking rocket science. But in this dilemma, Jimmy is a married man, and he's married to Naomi. So what's going to happen here? I will give you the most logical answer here as to what's going on. And what I think is a great role for Mandy Rose, but this made absolutely zero sense whatsoever. Samoa Joe's walking backstage, and EC3 is posing in front of a mirror. He's fucking flexing his muscles, doing the EC3 thing in front of the mirror, looking like a complete buffoon. Samoa Joe's like, he doesn't say anything to him. He looks at him, gives him some dirty looks. Don't I remember you from Impact Wrestling? He walks away. So we go from that to Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali. Now, this was a match that I was looking forward to, but this match never got underway. Joe made his entrance. Mustafa Ali, I love his getup. I love his mask. And he's got the whole getup on. He walks to the ring. He's doing his deal on the top rope, playing up to the fans. And Ali is attacked from behind during his entrance right before the bell rings. And Joe destroys Ali at ringside. Throws him into the steel post, man. I swear to God, I thought Samoa Joe thought he was actually at the bowling alley. And he was really aiming for a fucking strike at the end of the night. Not once, but twice. Ali is a damn good fucking seller, man. He is great at his job. He's great at taking a beatdown. He really sold this attack by Samoa Joe, man. And the best thing about all this is Samoa Joe actually cracked a genuine smile. But underneath the genuine smile was a man who loves destruction. He was happy at the chaos that he caused. I love Samoa Joe. How this man has not even been a WWE champion, not even that, a champion in WWE, is absolutely fucking criminal. Criminal. Justice for Joe. Please. So, he beats him up, he takes him and throws him into the steel post again, and they keep showing the replay, and Joe walked away, he comes back, and he was about to powerbomb Ali through the announce table. Everybody got up and scattered like fucking ants. And Joe said, nah, I'm not gonna destroy your table tonight. So he takes Ali and throws him into the barricade instead. I was hoping at some point he was going to powerbomb him through the table, but maybe at the Royal Rumble. Clearly Joe is getting ready for the Royal Rumble, and these two will, I'm sure, mix it up in the Rumble match. Sonya Deville is backstage with Mandy Rose. Deville asks Rose if she really wants to go through with this hotel thing. Now, Deville is trying to convince Mandy Rose that it's scandalous. Rose doesn't really like Naomi and says if she can't make Naomi's life miserable anymore, why not? Why not? I'll get Naomi back by going through her husband and ruining their marriage. So that's that. And she's off to have her date. So we get Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas. Now Andrade, simply Andrade. This was a fantastic match, folks. I don't really know what else to say about this. Whatever I said in the beginning, I don't want to reiterate what I said in the beginning, but if this match does not open WrestleMania for a title, if it does not end with Andrade winning the United States Championship or being a championship match, then WWE will have fucked up. You know, when I think WrestleMania, I think putting the very best talent that you have on your roster in the best positions for them to ultimately steal the show. Now, with what these two guys did on television, I really can't get a full grasp on what these guys are capable of because they're really tied down with the TV time, and they have a certain amount of time to do what they need to do, and there's commercial breaks in between, and it just ruins all the fun, and it ruins the epicness that the match truly has, or could have. But if these guys are not at WrestleMania, I don't know what else to tell you. This was absolutely fantastic. It's going to be very difficult for anybody on the weekly programs this week, and that includes NXT, and that includes NXT UK 205 Live. It's going to be a very difficult task to outshine what Rey and Andrade did on SmackDown Live. This was fantastic. We seen the Canadian Destroyer again, or the Mexican Destroyer in this instance again. So I'm assuming they got the okay, because if they did it last week and then they did it this week, I'm sure they got the okay, because last week I think everybody was just thrown for a loop that we seen a pile driver on television, when we all know the pile driver, the standard pile driver, or any variation of the pile driver, someone being dumped on their head, is outlawed, banned in WWE. But this was fucking fantastic. Andrade nails that big elbow, covers Rey Mysterio for 2 pin attempts. Andrade goes to the top. He hits the big moonsault, does that spot where he lands on his feet, and does a standing moonsault in one fluid motion. Absolutely love that. And he follows up with that moonsault, goes for a 2 count. Vega can't believe it on the outside. Now, where the fuck were they? Oklahoma? You know, I wish, if this was at Full Sail, you would have been hearing holy shit chants on more than one occasion in this match. All we got was a very weak "this is awesome" chant in front of the casuals in Oklahoma. Rey Mysterio counters with a Canadian Destroyer, or Mexican Destroyer, whatever you want to call it, for this match. We got a slew of replays for it because it's always beautiful. Rey goes for 619, but Andrade catches it, stands up with Rey on his shoulders. Rey drops Andrade with a crucifix bomb for a 2 count. Rey goes on and hits a 619 for another counter. Rey goes up top as Vega distracts the referee on the apron, and Andrade leaps up at the distracted Rey and crotches him on the top rope. Andrade with a draping hammerlock DDT from the top rope for the pin and the win. He beats Rey Mysterio this week on SmackDown Live and last week on SmackDown Live. This is, I would say, a step in the right direction for Andrade. This match was fucking great, even with the commercials and all. There was 2 spots here that really said, holy shit, to me. There was a spot where Andrade delivered a sit-out powerbomb on the outside to Rey Mysterio. And then there was another spot where Rey did a Hurricane Rana off the ring apron, and Andrade, I swear to God, bounced like a fucking tennis ball on the outside, man. Absolutely fantastic stuff. WWE owes it to give these guys a major pay-per-view match. Imagine what these guys could do in a major pay-per-view match with a title on the line. And this is why everybody is saying, put these guys in a match together at WrestleMania. They will tear the house fucking down. No question. Andrade has done literally everything that he can to show WWE that this man needs to be in the main event of SmackDown Live. And if this is not an eye-opener for them, I don't know what the fuck else the guy's got to do. I've been saying it. I've been saying it since fucking January last year when we watched him put on a fucking masterpiece with Johnny Gargano. I don't know how you could look at that and then waste him the entire year and now all of a sudden start pushing him because of certain things that are happening in the wrestling industry. I guarantee you, if AEW wasn't a thing, Andrade wouldn't be getting the opportunity that he is now. Same thing with Finn Balor. You think this is a mere coincidence? Like WWE woke up one day and realized, oh, look, we have Andrade Cien Almas here. They didn't find any value in him during the summer, but now all of a sudden they're finding value where he's beating Rey Mysterio in back-to-back weeks. Competition is a real thing, folks. Competition is a real thing. And if WWE is afraid of their talent going anywhere, they're going to do everything in their power to make that talent somewhat happy. Will it work? Only time will tell. But Almas, a guy who was pretty much wasted, relegated to nothing, is now looking at 2 major wins over Rey Mysterio. If that doesn't deserve a title shot of some sort, I don't know what else to tell you. Andrade versus Rusev. Take the title off of Rusev. Give Andrade that United States title. Guarantee you, WrestleMania will look that much more better with Andrade and Rey Mysterio for the United States title. Fuck, at this point, make it a best of 7. Make it a best of 7. I could watch these guys go every fucking week. I don't want to. I hope WWE doesn't do that. But right now, it's at a good place. I don't want WWE to get too comfy with what these guys do. I don't want it to get to a point where we get to WrestleMania and they're fighting every fucking week till WrestleMania, and when we get to WrestleMania, the match isn't really going to offer much of anything because we've seen it so many times already. Now, WWE has a tendency to do that. A best of 7 could work. Seriously, it worked for Sheamus and Cesaro. Look at what they did. Ended up being great. Andrade and Rey Mysterio in a best of 7, and it eventually leads to the final match being a U.S. Championship match. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Give them a break right now. Give them a rest. You know, let's kind of get away from it from a little bit. Andrade got the win. He's going to slowly, hopefully, move up the ladder. But I hope WWE doesn't have a tendency of doing it every single week. Mix and match, tag team here, tag team there. Every concoction of a match they come up with. And these guys are in the ring every single fucking week. And when they get to WrestleMania, that one-on-one match that we all wanted doesn't really feel as special anymore. Andrade wins. Great match. And how many of you people now are calling me an Andrade dick rider? I think you're in the same boat as me. No homo. Moving on here, man. We get the Mandy Rose hotel room scandalous soap opera-esque angle continuing here on SmackDown Live. We see Jimmy Uso. He's walking up to the hotel room. So he looks to knock. He doesn't knock. Takes the key. He enters the room. Rose is sitting in a hotel chair wearing nothing but a black robe. So Rose tells Jimmy, come on over here and quit stalling. Don't be afraid. So she stands up and she takes her robe off and reveals some really, really sexy lingerie. Wearing all black. Black is my favorite color. Rose asks, I honestly wonder what Kevin Castle was thinking at this point of the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. I know he's a big Mandy Rose guy. I'm thinking of Mr. Castle here. I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure he wishes he was in Jimmy's shoes right now. I think everybody would really want to be in Jimmy's shoes right now. Mandy Rose is hot, man. Man, Tino Sabatelli is one lucky motherfucker, man. What the fuck happened to Tino Sabatelli and Riddick Moss, man? I like that tag team. But no, Vince McMahon, they'll fucking break them up and shift them off to fucking Titus Catering sooner rather than later, man. But that was a good tag team, man. Tino Sabatelli. They both got injured. Hopefully they'll be back soon on NXT. Rose then asks Jimmy what he thinks. Uso says he can't do this, but he says there's someone who can. So all of a sudden, we see a man jump out and start snapping photos. Where this guy was, I don't fucking know. Was he in the closet? Was he hiding in the shower? I don't know. Random fucking TMZ-like cameraman flashing pictures, comes out of nowhere, and Jimmy looks to be reaching for Mandy Rose. So he's photographed doing something scandalous, quote unquote, but he really wasn't doing anything. And the guy scurries out of the room. So Jimmy then says, this is what this was all about. This is what this was all about. Rose then puts her robe back on, and she laughs. You really think I wanted you? Ha, 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 ha. She says this isn't about Jimmy. It's about her wife, or his wife, rather, and Rose despises his wife. Rose says Naomi runs around like she runs the place, but she will never be Mandy Rose. She will never be as hot as Mandy Rose. I have to testify here, man. I have to agree with Mandy Rose. I'm sorry. Mandy Rose is more my style, bro. Mandy Rose, I think, is more everybody's style. But I'm not taking anything away from Naomi. Naomi's hot in her own way. But I like Mandy Rose better. It's just me. Now, if I had a pick of the litter, honestly, seriously, AJ Lee back in the day, nobody topped AJ Lee, man. I thought she was the hottest. I really thought. Sasha Banks is my style. Ember Moon is hot. Even Ruby Riott nowadays. I like what Ruby Riott did with her hair. But Mandy Rose, if I'm going to pick between the two, definitely it's Mandy Rose. Anyway, that's neither here or there. Rose says she knows it. Naomi knows it. Jimmy knows it. Rose says it will destroy Naomi's entire life when she gets a look at these photos. And Jimmy says, my wife? And he walks out of the room, and in comes Naomi, and they have a huge brawl in the hotel room. Now, I think everybody got a little excited when they seen Mandy Rose and Naomi sprawling on the bed and brawling on the bed, right? It brought back, I guess Attitude Era-esque days, but not so much. But this is the thing with this fucking storyline, man. These storylines are so fucking ridiculous. Just like with Enzo and Lana. Remember that? Or what's his name? Aiden English and the Lana situation, right? None of these scandalous TMZ hotel room skits, they never work. They never come off as being logical. Because Naomi is standing outside, right? And we got Jimmy Uso and Mandy Rose on the inside, but we're to believe that they don't realize and they don't know, or we don't know, that there's a cameraman in the fucking hotel room filming all of this, and the logic in this entire scene goes right out the fucking window. So, Jimmy is caught doing scandalous acts with Mandy Rose, but Naomi could watch the live feed of the show, being that there's a cameraman in the room, and see that Jimmy really didn't do anything. So what good were the pictures going to do if Naomi knows that Jimmy didn't do anything? Do you see where I'm going here? It's good, but the execution of it is just absolutely god-awful and illogical. Now, the other thing here, why are they doing this? All of a sudden, we got this scandalous, cheating, trying to take a married man from his wife angle. Now, the only thing I could come up with is I've been seeing mass promotion for this Temptation Island garbage on the USA Network. Now, there's got to be some sort of directive from the USA Network. Can you guys integrate some type of scandalous act in a storyline so that you guys can push and promote Temptation Island, because we really want to get this reality TV show off the ground, Mr. McMahon? Temptation Island is a reality show on the USA Network, and it's a show that takes 4 couples and brings them to a deserted island, a fantasy island, with 25 other singles, and it's in the couple's power to cheat or not to cheat. And here we are looking at Mandy Rose wanting to get Jimmy to cheat on his wife. Is there a correlation there? I think so, folks. Temptation Island, Mandy Rose. It's the same fucking thing. It's nothing but cross-promotion without actually name-dropping Temptation Island. Man, I feel like Ace fucking Ventura over here. Jesus Christ. Moving on. Doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Now, at this point, I was completely just disenfranchised with the show. I really didn't care what was going on here. We got the bestie birthday bash for Shane McMahon, who turns 49 today. All the more reason that he shouldn't be in a wrestling ring. Now, I got Festival of Friendship type vibes from this one. We got The Miz. He is introducing Shane McMahon. The Miz is standing there with 2 birthday cakes. Out comes Shane McMahon, and people are singing happy birthday. Shane thanks everyone, and is a little shy about birthday parties. I myself don't really like birthdays. I hate when people sing me happy birthday. I don't really care about my birthday. I'm just a year older. I feel the same. Thank God I don't feel my age. But The Miz says this is no ordinary party. We have an arena full of his fans. Miz shows off 2 specialty cakes, 1 chocolate and 1 vanilla, which I am sure was baked on premises by Titus Corporation, LLC. There's no doubt about it. We had 1 chocolate and we had 1 vanilla. The chocolate one had a big money sign on it. The vanilla one had a nice photo of The Miz, an edible photo of The Miz and Shane McMahon holding up the World Cup trophy at WWE World Cup, according to Braun Strowman. And then you wonder why he's not in the fucking Royal Rumble Universal Championship match. It's Crown Jewel, you fucking fee-fi-fo-fum bumbling fool. Braun Strowman. Go flip another fucking tractor trailer, you fucking clown. Anyway, Miz is showing off these cakes, 2 specialty cakes. Shane has a present next. He opens it, and it's a gift. It's a pair of Jordan 33s. Those couldn't be very cheap there, Mr. Miz, Mike Mizanin. Miz tells Shane to look at the big screen. We get this video package of Shane's career and his time with the Miz. I'm zoning out. I'm on my phone looking at fucking Twitter and who's fucking talking shit about me on Tuesday night, like always. Shane says he's actually speechless. He says the video was very nice. Shane thanks Miz and then thanks him for opening up a few weeks ago about his dad. Shane says that they made him want to open up and do something too, or that made him want to open up and do something too. Shane says he's always dreamed about being a WWE Tag Team Champion, and he's proud to be walking into the Rumble with Miz as his partner. Blah, 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 blah. So the bar comes out, and they point out how they weren't invited to the party. They say that Vince McMahon wasn't even invited to the party. But he didn't come because he didn't give a damn. They go on about how winning the match at the Rumble is going to be, just as easy as everything else that's come to them because they're the best tag team in the world. Shane knocked Sheamus for the bro kick to Miz last week. Shane says, let's find out how tough he really is. So he books Sheamus and the Miz tonight. Miz is like, whoa. I'm in a suit here. I'm not really ready to go. I don't have my gear. And then Shane McMahon says, well, I didn't have my gear when I won the Crown Jewel tournament. I didn't have my gear when I won the best in the world. So you could do the same thing. You're the Miz. You're a multi-time champion. You're an A-lister. Right? So we get Sheamus and the Miz, and the only thing that I had running through my head is, who is going to go through these fucking cakes? And how are they going to utilize these fucking cakes in this match? And lo and behold, Cesaro goes through the fucking table, and we get Sheamus at the end of the match getting a coast-to-coast from Shane McMahon, with The Miz holding the vanilla cake in his face while Shane McMahon does a coast-to-coast through the vanilla cake. Titus wasn't pleased, man. I heard it took him about 9 hours to bake this fucking cake. So you could see how disappointed Titus was. Cake all over the place. Finest ingredients were used. I heard that he used organic ingredients. It was a healthy dessert for Shane McMahon. I don't know, man. I don't know. Miz ends up winning. Cesaro ends up dropping Miz from the apron. As Sheamus distracts the referee, Shane comes to the apron and gets Cesaro, puts him through the fucking table, like I said. Cake everywhere. This leads Miz to rolling Sheamus up for the pin. At the end of this thing, coast to coast, they rub the cake in Sheamus' face and start celebrating as Shane's music hits. Shane brings the World Cup trophy in and they raise it together. Miz puts some cake in Shane's face and they have a laugh together. Ha 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 ha. It's good on WWE to treat the Bar as legitimate tag team champions. I wonder how the Bar feels knowing that they beat the Usos and they beat the New Day and now they have to go into the Royal Rumble and more than likely they will be losing their tag team titles to a team that doesn't even really have a name. A tag team that shouldn't even be in existence. Shane McMahon and The Miz, no doubt in my mind, are going to be winning these tag team titles at the Royal Rumble. I don't know why this ended the show. This completely put a damper on everything. At the end of the night, I was like, this show sucks. Now, if Andrade and Rey Mysterio were in the main event, I would have maybe felt a little bit better, going into the last couple of minutes of this show, and I might have had a different outlook on what I watched. But being that we got Andrade in the middle with Rey Mysterio, and then everything after that just felt completely just out of place and just god-awful, the show really didn't sit well with me, man. On top of Becky Lynch and the fucking Ikonics. This was a really, really bad edition of SmackDown Live. They didn't do good. I don't believe I'm going to say this. I don't believe I'm going to say this. And please don't take this as an everyday occurrence. I honestly think Monday Night Raw did more to build excitement for the Royal Rumble than SmackDown Live did. But that had everything to do with Finn Balor and their mysterious push out of nowhere for Finn Balor than everything. So, there you go. Miz ends up winning, and that's the way SmackDown goes off the air. If you guys enjoyed the review, if you guys enjoyed the podcast, man, let me know what you guys think down below. I will be back tomorrow with something. NXT tomorrow for sure. Don't know what's happening on NXT tomorrow night, but I'll be here to cover it for you guys. Until then, take care, man. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much for all the support. If you guys want to follow me on social media, man, JD from NY206 on Twitter. Same thing as Instagram. JD from New York on Twitch, and hit that subscribe button down below with that bell. Turn on that bell for notifications, man. We gained almost 200 followers or subscribers rather, today on YouTube, man. Thank you guys so much. It was one of the better days in recent weeks. But you guys are kicking ass, man. Let's continue to build this brand. Let's continue to build our voice here in the community. And I thank each and every one of you guys for sticking with me, man. We're going to make 2019 a bigger year than ever before. Thank you guys so very much for everything. Like I said, hit that thumbs up, and I will see you all tomorrow for NXT. I'll talk to you guys later.